60 days of carnivore. It's my 2-month anniversary and we're gonna celebrate with, you're not gonna believe what this is. These are liver pancakes with some goat cheese, some turkey ground beef, and some butter. It's not cheese, it's butter. So I tried it and oh my God, I hate liver. I hate it so much. But if you put the liver into the mixer with a lot of eggs, like 4 eggs and that much liver, and some cottage cheese, it's going to be very okay. It's not my favorite thing of all times, but I can eat it without eating the liver raw and these kind of things. And you don't have to eat the liver at all, and you don't have to eat it raw. But I did need to get the vitamins in because I couldn't get it from the meat. So I was eating. So yeah, that's basically now a very, very, very good solution, I have to say, and you have to try it out. I think even you can make it if you eat honey and these kind of things and fruits, you can also make it sweet, and then the liver one will maybe just go away because now it's not very present. So that's good. It's okay. We can manage to do that. Let's make a wrap up what happened the last 60 days. The beginning was rough. I was posting every day since I do have now 60 videos. So yeah, you can just watch my suffering and my getting better as well, because I did have a lot of troubles on carnivore. I did have a lot of good days. I started having at day 31 histamine issues. I couldn't breathe. It was awful. It was going the complete wrong direction. I needed a lot of time to figure out, and I was getting in all of this carnivore problem solving mode. And I found a lot of videos and a lot of people who helped with different kind of approaches, and then I tried everything. I was overwhelmed. It was too much information. I thought, oh my God, this should be just easy, eat the meat and that's it. It was starting getting so confusing. It was too much information overload. So if you do feel that way right now, chill. Chill. And don't get too much into this information chaos. It's about yourself, and if you stop listening to everybody else and start listening to your body, you will exactly know what to do. Because one thing I can tell you, my weight was dropping now because I didn't fast anymore. Everybody's telling me, you have to fast, you have to fast. No, you don't have to fast. It can harm you, especially in the beginning. You have to eat a lot. You have to eat that much like your body wants to. But be careful. You always have to have a little bit of protein and maybe a higher fat approach. So that's one thing that people do misunderstand wrong. They look at all these influencers eating their butter sticks and eating a lot of meat, and then they think they can do the same. But then they have a lot of problems because they are having all this fat. Your body cannot handle the fat at this moment. You maybe need time to adjust. They're eating all this meat. Maybe this meat has histamine in it, and they have to find a brand that doesn't make them feeling bad. And that's what I did now 60 days. And it is tough. It is really, really tough to stay motivated when you're having troubles on carnivore. There are a lot of people who are just saying, I feel so great and it was amazing. And a lot of these people are now coaches and, getting themselves also into problems people have because they couldn't imagine what kind of problems people have on carnivore because they didn't have it. So that's very interesting, these kind of approaches. And I just can tell you, don't be devastated if you're not feeling good. It's because you are just looking too much into all of these people and what they do and try to do the same thing, but your body's not there yet. Maybe your body will there in 1 year or 2 years, or maybe some months or weeks, to be able to fast more, to eat more protein, to eat more fat, to figure out what is better for you. If you can go 7 days with fasting, or this is the worst thing your body can handle because you're putting it into lots of stress, like it's with me. Since yesterday, I started eating again. I was going into this direction to fast more, eat 1 meal a day, because that's the thing, that's the guru, that's the best thing. No, it's not. Your body, and there are so many different body types, and the time has to be right. My body didn't accept me fasting. It was putting me into stress, and I was starting gaining weight. I was starting to getting worse. And since yesterday, when I started putting 4 little meals, 3 hours in between, and a more high fat approach, and implemented a little bit of goat cheese again, and a more butter because my body can now handle it. I was getting better and I was dropping weight and I was eating more than ever. So one thing I realized with my body is as soon as I eat and give my body more, but not in one sitting, actually at a long term in a day, it is helping me. So you really need to communicate with your body and see what your body wants. So if your body really is craving fruit and these kind of things in the beginning, and not the crappy things, but the more healthy versions, of everything, give it to him. Give it to him. Don't, just put it away and think that's the good approach, because for most people it's not. You really have to slowly bring your body that he will accept your approach and what you want to do. So especially for me in the beginning, I did have a lot of apples, bananas, and berries, because my body was craving it. And I did have a lot of yogurt and a lot of protein yogurt because my body was craving protein. And that was good. And that was the time when I listened to my body and my body helped me. And I was losing weight, I was feeling better and these kind of things. But as soon as I implemented the good stuff and where we have to go and we have to eat 1 meal a day and fast 7 days and oh my god and these bullshit, all everybody needs to do this. No, my body started to really fighting me because I was putting him into stress. He didn't get the things he was used to help me, and then my body was just, fuck you, I'm gonna take everything I can have and I'm gonna store it and I'm gonna make you fat and not healthy and not good. So you really, as soon as you just do this and just listen to your inside, you will know what to do. And that's, I think, one of the toughest things, because people tend to look at their influencers and people, and people giving them so many advices also on Carnivore to say, I'm gonna do this now and try this and this. So just don't. Honestly, just don't. If you have troubles, and you cannot go out of these troubles and you are not knowing what you're doing wrong, then you have to do a bit of a research and find out what is maybe wrong. But don't be overwhelmed with all the information. So if you have diarrhea, you have too much fat. If you have constipation, you maybe have too much protein. You need to somehow know what you're eating, because most of the people don't know that, how much fat and protein stuff does have. And it is really wrong that you assume that meat just have a lot of protein. I did in 80% of my calories came from fat in the beginning. I was just eating meat and I was thinking, what? How can it be 80% fat and 20% protein? I didn't understand that when I tracked my calories. So you really can be wrong. And that's the most important thing, just to look it up. You can just Google it. You don't have to use an app. You eat ground beef, see what is protein and how much fat it has, and just, collect your data for even a day. It will be enough, or 1 hour. It can be enough for one meal. Then you will have a better understanding what you're eating and what is better for you. If a high protein approach is better for you or a high fat. This difference is important, because especially when you have autoimmune diseases, high fat is much more better. 80% of your calories should come from fat, and it's not butter. It doesn't have to be butter. It doesn't have to be ghee or tallow or all these kind of things that you can use as fat. It can also come from fatty meats, but they are more expensive. So it can also come if you go to the farmer, butcher, and ask him to give you the ribeye fat and these kind of things, and you just put it into the air fryer and make it crispy. That's also another approach. So there are a lot of solutions for everything. Headaches, you can, or just quitting coffee or not quitting coffee, all these debates. Just don't put your body into stress situations, because your body will not thank you. If you start with carnivore and stop drinking coffee and stop eating sugar and stop eating yogurt and stop eating cheese and everything, your body might just fight you. You can be one of the maybe 5% of the lucky people who are just doing amazing and everything is going great. But that's 5%, 95%. And believe me, I watched thousands and thousands of videos and comments, and I read all the, and my feeling is 95% have problems on carnivore, 5% are doing good immediately. So if you're one of the 5%, congratulations, I'm happy for you. If you're in the 95% of having troubles, Don't be devastated, you will get there. And you can watch my videos from day one. You will see how much I suffered at some days. I just want to give up. I did have my I call it gentle days, just where I ate everything that my body wanted to, even the sugary parts, or some keto treats and these kind of things, because my body was craving it, especially as a woman with hormones and these kind of things. If you're sensitive, it's so much tougher to say no to all these kind of things. And suddenly when everybody's saying, cut the cheese, cut the coffee, cut this, and I cut everything and I was just eating meat, my body wasn't very thankful with me. My cravings started. The fasting didn't do me any justice. So now changing the perspective and having light cheese. The goat cheese is a light version, so I do save some calories here if I would go overboard. That's the problem. They tell you to go high fat versions. Why? No, because if you're a person like me who cannot moderate and tend to overeat, a light version can be better, because you're not getting that much of the calories in one sitting if you want to eat it, and if you think it's gonna help you in the end. Especially for me, for example, I can overeat yogurt very, very easy. So skyr has even more protein in it, in these kind of things. So if I have skyr in my fridge, I'm not gonna overeat it because I don't like it that much. I just find it okay. So the light goat cheese, I find it good, but I don't find it, oh my God, it's the best thing I've ever eaten. But the normal goat cheese, it's like this for me, and I tend to overeat it. The same thing with cheese. Some cheese I can say, okay, it's good. I can eat, a little piece and I'm fine, and I do feel satisfied and my craving stop. But if I have my good cheese, my old Gouda, or my, these creamy cheeses and these kind of things, I will go overboard. And of course you're gonna go gain weight, So be aware of that. Also, ice cold butter is the best. Put it into the freezer, make it into little pieces, and then eat these little pieces. It's like ice cream, and you will get there. You will get there. In the beginning, we all hated it. We hated eating butter. And then suddenly our body says, that's good. Okay, I want more. And now it's like, wow, butter. Give it to me. The same thing with my son. My son hated it, and then I was eating it, and he was like, can I try? And I said, of course you tried, but you didn't like it. And then he tried, and he was like, okay, that's good. I want more. And he was eating the half of my butter. So my stick of butter. And that's how the body changes. And also I see it in my son extremely. My son is not restricted. He can eat whatever he wants if it's not high processed. If he wants fries, I'm gonna do him fries with a potato and put it in the air fryer. But he never asked me for fries. Never. That's really interesting. The only thing, when we were at the burger shop and I did have my steak, he wanted to have his burger and fries. And I said, that's a little bit too much. You will have the bread, you will have the processed food, you will have the processed oil, you will have the fries who are highly cooked in processed oil, and you will feel sick. But if you have to know it yourself. I'm not gonna restrict you. If you can, I told you, you can eat today whatever you want. We are in a restaurant. And then he was starting getting so sick, and he said, I'm not gonna eat this anymore. So I think that kids shouldn't be punished, or something, but they should get there easily. And at home, we don't have these kind of things. But when we're outside, he sometimes have a little bit more of variation and can order if he wants to. We did buy some rice, some white rice, because white rice is better. That's also one very, very wrong information with the brown rice and these kind of things. The white rice is better. And the good new spaghettis, which are from organic sources, and it's the dark things, not the white things, because that's better in noodles and spaghetti. And I said, okay, you can sometimes, if you really crave these kind of things, because these are his go-to, I will make them for you, if you're very hungry and I don't want him to undereat if he doesn't like something. But actually he eats a lot of meat and he eats a lot of butter now, and his taste is adjusting, and it's getting so much easier than in the beginning to bring him to eat that. So without me forcing anything on him, I just say, please be careful, and we are not having anything sweet. But if he's at his friends, he can eat sugar and eat whatever they have, of course, or in the school if somebody is giving him something and he wants to eat it. Because I think that the kid will also come at some point where he does know if he wants or if he doesn't want to have these kind of things. So I'm very open and I'm go shopping with him, and I see the difference now, because he was looking at the labels, and not me telling him to look at the labels. I did it one time to explain how it works and what he has to just look up. And now suddenly everything he turns around and looks at the labels, and he was like, "That has sugar. Look at this, mommy. Look at this." I said, "Yeah, yeah, you understand now." And he was like, "Why?" And that's the good approach for everything. Also yourself, just do little baby steps and educate yourself when you go in a grocery store what's inside, and if this is really healthy or not, and try just the more healthier approach to make everything by yourself. If you don't have time, that's the problem a little bit, then you need to find a little bit of tweaks how to prepare it more easily. And I'm a complete minimalist when it comes to all these kind of stuff, and I just make easily 5 seconds ground beef with some spices. I just cook them in tallow and eat it like this, or just with eggs, or make a carnivore quiche. It's basically just eggs and cooked ground beef and in this in the oven, and you can slice it and bring it to work, or just make some waffles, or what I did right now. There are so many recipes that are so easy, and that's a good thing about carnivore. I hate cooking. I don't like cooking at all, and I'm really bad, and I hate cleaning the kitchen. And now I don't have issues with that anymore, because it's so easy, and I do have a grill which actually is showing me that's medium or that's not medium, so I don't even have to take care of that. I'm putting it on, putting the steak in when it's done, and putting it out when it's ready. So I do have also videos where I showed you my grill, and it's just for idiots. So yeah, I'm an idiot in cooking, so that's easy for me to work with that. And spices is also a big topic. If it helps you to stay on carnivore and you have a little bit of the variation you want or you're craving, then please eat the spices. If you don't need them, and I don't always use spices. I do use spices on ground beef. That's because I don't like the taste of just the ground beef. I tried now very, very different things, but as soon as I give a little bit of spices, it's so much tastier and I can eat it, and I love ground beef. So that's one approach. But for steaks, I only use salt. I'd never use, anything remotely spices. So I do have this variation. And if I have days where really my body is just telling me I want a lot of fruits right now, then I'm gonna give it to my body, because my body is now adjusting and really not craving that much of these things that I craved in the first month. It's just adjusting because I didn't restrict myself that much. I did eat carnivore. I did eat the laissez-faire carnivore animal-based with fruits things some days, like 4 to 5 days. Then I switched up, then I had the lion diet. So I'm giving my body a little bit of variation, so my body is not getting used to the things, and it's like always surprised and, oh, that's nice, I like that. It seems like working better for my body. So that's what I can tell you. After 60 days, the whole thing, your whole journey can change. And if you didn't go well, even after I saw somebody doing it for a year and didn't have any good outcome and these kind of things, then you really need to write down what you're eating and ask one of the coaches, maybe even in the carnivore world. It's like 5 Minutes Body, it's Kelly Hogan, it's all the doctors. They do have live videos. Dr. Kieltz does have a live video. Dr. Shafee does have live videos. Dr. Barry and so on. They do have also live videos. A lot, even Dr. Kieltz. I can tell you go on Instagram, go on my Instagram and go to the people I'm following. I'm only following carnivore people, and there are also Dr. Kieltz's, for example, and he always have basically every day, and somehow every day it pops up, he has on Instagram a live feed, and there are 30 to 40 people, so you really have the chance to ask these people questions, and they do answer. So I can really recommend this to you. He's a little bit special, let's say it like that. He's like a little Albert Einstein, a little bit, but he does have some good points at some point. So really try to write down what you're eating, write it in the comments, try to get the people to interact with you, and maybe some of the people can tell you what you're doing wrong. I can tell you one thing. If you see nothing is gonna work, cut everything you do and do the complete opposite. The complete opposite. I can tell you with, for example, with breathing, people say, you know, if you're anxious, breathe and do the breathing techniques. That doesn't work for me. So I did the complete opposite. I stopped breathing. I just hold my breath until my brain just stops overacting and going crazy, and then I start the breathing techniques, and that works for me. So always when something's not working, I'm doing the complete opposite, and then it's working. I don't know why it is, but if you really are struggling, try this approach. It maybe will help you. Yeah, basically that's it. The sport part. If you build your weight loss, what a lot of carnivore influencer does, they do then extreme sport because they feel the energy and these kind of things. Of course, your weight will go faster down, but at some point maybe in your life you will have stress again and these kind of things, and then your body's maybe going up with the calorie intakes, and you're just gaining weight again because you're not doing that much sport like you did when you have so much time. So my approach, because I'm a single parent, I work full-time in an IT company. I do have a lot of responsibilities and work, 40 hours, and have to go there and interact with people. So, and then come back and be prepared for my son and do with him all the stuff. So my life is really full of things I have to do. And if I have to implement now going to the gym or these kind of things, I couldn't manage it because the gym is very far away. So it will take me 1 to 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to really get there, get dressed, got back, and these kind of things. So I implement as much as possible, just, little things at home if I'm feeling it. If my body tells me, I don't want to do it, I'm not going to force my body to. And that's the best approach I can give you. If you don't force your body to do something, it will naturally give you what you want. And for me, the whole week from Monday to Friday, I am not doing sport that much at all. I'm doing some stretching and these kind of things in the morning. That's it. I walk maybe 500 to 1,000 steps sometimes when I'm stressed. So I really don't have enough of everything and vitamin D and these kind of things. But then in the weekend, my body is like thanking me for giving him a rest, and just go and wants to do some fun sport with my son and being outside and doing stuff, just having fun with my son as well. So that's one thing I can tell you. Don't stress about going to the gym, doing this. Oh my God, I have to prepare. I have to do this. I have to inform myself. I have to track macros. I have to, just, no, just sit down, just listen to your body and really listen to it. Sit down, have a date with yourself. Take what your body is telling you that it wants to eat, enjoy it. Enjoy it. If you have a cookie, enjoy it. Don't feel bad about it, because if you feel bad about it, it's like you telling a friend, you are stupid. How can you eat this chocolate cake? Of course he's not gonna enjoy it, but he was like, So why you will never do this to a friend in the end, I hope. So why do you do that to your own body? Your body will react the same way. Will go, but I'm still eating it, and I'm gonna, hold on to it because it's so precious. And that's what we don't want to. We want our body to enjoy this little piece of cake, or even 3 cakes if you need it. Please, if you need it, then go with it. Your body will get there if you really try to implement as much as possible of fat and meat in the beginnings, and really try to focus on that, to have every meal starting with that, and then add your sugary things if you need to. But just, you will get there. Your body doesn't want to eat that anymore at some point, or less and less and less. So that's what I really can tell you, and it's the most important thing. And yeah, that's basically all the things. And keep in consideration that carnivore is not going to heal everything and do the best and oh my God, everything is going to great. No, carnivore needs time to adjust, yes, but you also have to look into your whole life then. What are your environment? Do you have mold in your house? What is your stress level? Do you sleep? If you don't sleep, you will be hungry and your body will just go overboard. Are you addicted to cheese, and every time you have cheese, you just overboard eat it? Try to figure out a different approach, a different cheese. So you really have to look just in your whole life and figure out what are the burning points and how you can fix them. And for me, it was cooking and cleaning. So I did buy this little grill, which is automatic working. And now I have so less to, you know, think about it, because it's doing all the work and I don't have to look cooking shows, recipes and this kind of thing. I just put the meat in and that's it. I experimented with a lot of different brands until I found one brand and one butcher and these kind of things which work for me better than the others, which causing me histamine, and some brands doesn't. Eggs are causing me a lot of bloating. So even the egg yolks. So, you know, you really need to figure it out in a way what will work for you in the end. And just keep it as simple as possible and integrate it in your life. And at some point, because of the sport part, I do want to go into the CrossFit direction, because I really like this, your own weight, you can do it at home. And I would love to have a personal trainer. Why? Because where I work, next to me, there is a CrossFit center, and I don't want to pay money because I cannot be in these courses. So my only thing that I can do to improve in this kind of direction, because on YouTube and this, of course, you can do that as well, but I want to have a little bit more at some point, especially maybe in the winter, to have, you know, maybe 4 hours in total in a month, a personal trainer, and see with my body what I can do and what I can manage and how I can get there easier. And it's next to my office, so I can use the time that usually people go shopping and eat. I can use this time and this hour just to go next door and have these things done. So that was my approach. So find the ways that work in your life and that is more easily. And if you have to drive somewhere an hour to, you know, just figure it out, what makes your life so much simple and easy. And I think 26 minutes are enough. I'm not gonna enjoy this and watch Gossip Girl. I have a day off today, so I'm gonna take it easy and clean and yeah, doing this and celebrate with my family that we're 60 days in. And I'm so happy to have you guys, and I'm happy to know what you're doing, how you're doing, if you learn something new, and what you have for breakfast or lunch, or what you're gonna have for dinner. Love you and see you tomorrow, like always.